Welcome back, Inebri-art. This is Andy, the Inebri-art podcast. I am once again recording from my bug-out shelter several miles beneath the Earth's crust, hiding from the coronavirus. And today I have Brieana Woodward. Welcome to the show.
Up? Hey there. How's it going?
Oh, not bad. So we actually kind of met through former guest AJ Haypenny. You are a stand-up, but you're also a photographer? Is that?
I am a photographer. I'm actually editing pictures right now that I took today.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been doing photography since high school. I didn't mean to be a photographer. Like, I like doing it, but I didn't mean to do it, like, professionally. So
You just kind of fell into it?
Yeah, because, like, it started in high school when the senior portraits and shit were big, and I didn't like how expensive and shitty the pictures were. We had, like, one photography studio that serviced, like, the whole area, but they just, like, I thought they sucked dicks. I was like, these are dumb. I can do it better. Turns out I could, and so I just kept doing it, and they were probably mad because I shot for, like, what I was, mad fucking senior portraits, and, like, yeah, I've worked at a studio. I used to shoot real estate, like, but now I just do it like freelance on my own, like headshots. Is that
like
and
your
shit.
Sole job? Is that all you do?
No, I do photography. I do graphic design. I do animation and video editing now, and like pretty much any visual freelance shit that I can do. People just pay me to do. So
yeah,
it's cool.
How does that translate to being a stand-up comic? Like, which came first? I suppose.
The visual art stuff. Because, like, I've only been doing comedy. In 10 days, it'll be 1 year officially. Although, I don't know if it really counts, seeing as how no one's done comedy for, like, 2 months now?
2 months, yeah. Yeah. What are you going to do? That's not your fault.
Not my fault. So, I mean, I guess a 10-month comedian of that. But, yeah, no, it was pretty cool. It definitely helps because, like, I don't know, people need posters and headshots and shit. So I'm, like, more helpful than just spitting some bullshit on stage.
But I mean, were you always interested in stand-up comedy? Did people just be like, "Hey, you're funny, you should do stand-up"?
Oh yeah.
What was?
Oh yeah, I was a fat girl, so my sparkling personality was all there was to me. So like my whole life, people were like, "Oh, you're so funny, you should do stand-up," and I was like, whatever. And then I've wanted to do it since I was like little. Like my parents always had stand-up on the TV and like stuff like that. Like it was very like, I don't know, like centric to my home life. So yeah, I always like wanted to do it, but I don't know, I never I don't guess had like the confidence in it, and then I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And now it's fun, and yeah, pretty decent at it, I guess.
Was the first attempt, was that like an open mic?
Yeah, yep, it was a mixed poetry open mic, and like some friends came, and I got a decent amount of laughs. I did 7 minutes, and the video of it is on my Instagram.
Oh, okay, that's. I feel like most people are not happy with their first go, and they're kind of.
I prepared for it. But yeah. I mean, I definitely am not like I've grown. I feel like in the short amount of time, like it's definitely like I've gotten better since then. But like I don't know, I'm not gonna be like a pussy about it. Like, oh, my first time. Like, yeah, it's my fucking first time. Like, I'm not the Rain Man of comedy. Of course, it's not gonna be beautiful, but I don't know. I like having it up there because like I get to look at it and be like, oh yeah. Like, that's fun.
So was there anything that in this past year, 10 months, that kind of surprised you about doing it? Like, is it harder to write jokes than you thought? Is there like some part of the industry that you weren't aware of? Was there any kind of...
No, the only thing that surprised me is people are nicer than I thought they would be. And I know a lot of people would probably be like, oh, where? But like, I don't know, as long as you're not a cunt, people are pretty nice. So like, it's been fun. I just stay in my own lane, do my own thing. Like, I'm just nice to people. So it's, I don't know, I think it's a lot of fun. I'm not bitter and jaded yet. I know that there's going to be a few people who are like, when you're less than a year in, you'll get there. And I'm like, yeah, I guess, maybe. Like, my dreams aren't completely dead and shattered yet, so we'll see.
And like, well, where do you want to go with this? Like, what's the...
my like, I guess my like little like goal or whatever of what I want to be is like, obviously like more than just like opener and like stuff like that. But I don't think I want to be like Chappelle famous. I really like writing and stuff, and like with all the other visual arts, I think I want my little claim to fame or whatever is like like an Adult Swim cartoon or something. Like I want to
produce.
Yeah, I want to do something like that. So it's like I'll do stand up and shit on the side, but I want to like do other fun stuff, like using writing and the visual arts together.
So like what Adult Swim cartoons are like your favorite?
My favorite ones?
Yeah.
My big inspos, Aqua Teen Hunger Force was always like a top fave.
I love Meatwad.
Oh yeah, Meatwad, he's good. I like Shake. I feel like I'm very Shake energy a lot of the time because like he's just such a fucking idiot. It's so fun. Aqua Teen, home movies, Metalocalypse is like so good. But like home movies and Aqua Teen were like my top.
I actually got to interview Doc Hammer, who did Venture Brothers.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah, and he was telling me, he's like, you got to watch home movies, and that for whatever reason that one just kind of slipped by on the radar. So
it was like underappreciated. Home movies was so fucking good all the time, and like nobody like gave it the love it deserved. That, and I feel like Oblongs, like it had such a good cast. Like Will Ferrell did a voice on one of them, and like it was just such a weird like little gem. Like Oblongs and home movies were really tight. I like those.
I feel like now is a really good time for adult. I hate saying adult cartoons because it makes it sound like porn.
Yeah, it wicked does.
Cartoons geared towards adults that aren't necessarily Japanese animation, that are kind of, back in the day there was like so few, and now it's just there's so many. Like I've never even heard of Oblongs. I'm not even aware of that. I don't know what it's about.
It was an older one. They don't even show it anymore, which is dumb because it was super good too.
Yeah,
or at least I don't know. I haven't watched TV in like years, so who knows? They might.
And I just saw C-Lab 2021.
Oh yeah, 2021. I love that
on
one
Amazon
too.
Prime now too.
Ah, that's a good one.
So do you want to kind of take control and have like your own thing, or do you want to be kind of brought in to write on something, or like what do you think would be
it would be my own thing because I'm a fucking control freak.
No, don't apologize. I get it.
Well, no, because it's just like, I mean, I like to write and I do my writing thing, and like I also do design and I know how to animate. Like I know exactly what I want and how I want it, so it's like it'll take forever to produce an episode, but it'll be fulfilling to have my own cartoon where it's like just me. The only thing I would need help on is like voices, because I can't do voiceover shit. I suck buttholes at it. Like you can 100% tell it's me every fucking time. Like
yeah, but I feel like a lot of those shows, the creators usually do like at least one voice.
That's true.
It's just them, which is fine.
Right.
But I feel like that's even the easier part now because you don't even need to be in the same room. You can have the person record and just send you the file. So
exactly.
So do you just, getting back to photography, do you just do senior portraits? I think photos I saw you did, like it looked like for a musician or a hip-hop artist.
He's like a rapper dude from actually AJ probably knows him. It's like Jamie Aird's little brother or something. And I do mostly portrait work. Like it's not just senior portraits. Like I do those, but honestly, I don't even really do those as much anymore. Like I stick to like headshots and like adults just because like it's not that kids are annoying. Like they are, but like parents are fucking annoying. So like dealing with them, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Like this is going in a book that your kid will never look at. These pictures really don't matter. So, but like headshots and shit, it's like, well, this is like a face of a brand or something. Like, there's just more to it, and people take it like, I don't know, they're just not as annoying. So I like shooting adults. I like doing like boudoir shoots, headshot shoots, musician, like promo type shit. Like anything I can have fun with is what I like.
And then, so like you said, you do a lot of poster design stuff. So is it kind of, you take those pictures and then do the other graphic design portion for them as well?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. I mean, I've definitely done a lot of that. So, and it just works because, like, I know my own, like, shit. So it's, like, a good workflow where it's like, because there's nothing worse than taking, like, a beautiful photo and it's, like, you edit it and it's like, wow, this looks so nice. And then some fucking dickhead graphic designer. Like, no, it's just some fucking pube who bootlegged fucking Photoshop. You're not a designer. You're just some fucking cunt who knows how to torrent shit. And then they fucking destroy all your hard work with these dumbass fonts and bad placement because it's like, it's, oh my God, it's so fucking annoying. It's so annoying. It's the hill I'll die on. I'm not a snob about much. I literally am like, I don't give a fuck about anything, but like, bad design is bad fucking design. Like, I'm dedicating my life to it. Like, I've literally, like, when we first got a computer and I was like 6 years old, I was like drawing on MS Paint and I was like, I like drawing on the computer and just like doing all the like like I've been doing it my entire life. I knew what I wanted to do since I was a kid. I went to high school for it. I got a degree in it. It's like, there's one thing in this life I know no one can fucking touch me on, and it's my goddamn design. Like, so when I see someone destroying my photos with shitty posters, I'm like, please stop, you're hurting me. And
I feel like it's got to be fairly equal when you get someone else's photos that you're just like, oh, these aren't good.
Oh,
like, what am I going to do?
Exactly. I make posts all the time. I'm salty as fuck when I have poster jobs, and I'm like, give me your headshots, and they give me this grainy ass fucking 2-pixel photo. I'm like, that's not a headshot, you dinks. Like, please, for the love of God, get a real camera. Like, I'll do free headshot days. When I first, like, last summer, probably like around June, maybe August or something, I was just like, hey, come here at this time and I'll take your fucking picture, like, for free. Like, and I got a bunch of like headshots and stuff because like, it is the same way. It's like, there's nothing worse than someone destroying your photo with a bad poster and then someone giving you bad photos for a good poster. It's like, this design would be fucking beautiful if I had something to work with. So it's just like both ends. I'm just getting fisted by fucko. But nah, it's fine. I can work with anything. I don't know, I guess my only PSA for people who order design is, please, if I like have something, don't give me too many instructions. It's like, I know it looks good, you don't, that's why you're paying me. Yeah. So like, I've had a lot of posters where it started good, but they just wanted to like add and like change shit and like their vision. I'm like, your vision's fucking stupid. Like, why are you paying me if you have a vision? It becomes like you're trying to talk them into making the right decision and like, almost like make it like their idea. Been like, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, literally, that is like, literally being a freelance designer is like 60%. I should have got a fucking psychology degree or like anything more useful than a design degree, because it's like, all right, they're not going to listen to me if I tell them this looks good. You have to kind of bait people into thinking it's their idea. Right. And then they're like, oh, that looks great. I have such a great idea. And I'm like, yep, nope, it's all you. That's fine. And I'm just like, thank God. And I talk to a lot of visual artists, and the one thing I always tell them is like, never show work in progress to the end client. It's my biggest flaw. I like to, because I'm a very transparent person. I'll be like, hey, like, here's what I got so far, just so you know I'm like fucking like working on it. I'm not sitting here with my thumb up my ass. But yeah, nope, I start to cut down on that. Or if they start giving me too many, like, oh, a little bit to the left. Well, can we do like a little bit bigger? I'm like, all right, it's gonna start being $10 per change. So magically, you know, the poster starts suddenly being real fucking fine. Yeah, because I'm like, you're taking up way too much of my time. Like, when I give an estimate, it takes me about an hour to bang out a poster, depending if I'm doing like custom illustration or not. But like most posters, about an hour. And so I charge like that and like factor in the cost of like having Photoshop and all that shit. So all my posters are like $50. But it's like, if somebody makes me spend like 8 hours on a fucking poster because they can't make up their goddamn mind, I'm like, I'm making like a nickel, like, go away. I don't have time for this. So I guess that's where the frustration comes in. That's always the artist, you know, issue, because people be like, oh, it's so expensive. And be like, it took them like 8 days to paint it. You know, if you break down what it is minus the cost of, you know, whatever it is, they're making like less than minimum wage. Oh yeah, and it drives me nuts when people suggest shit like Fiverr. Like, fuck Fiverr. Like, they suck. I hope someone Molotovs their fucking headquarters. Fiverr is trash, bullshit trash. And like, when I was a baby designer, I definitely was like, oh, this is cool. I can get a lot of client work. It's like, here's the thing. You're building a shitty client base because it's going to be all people who don't actually value graphic design work. It's people who want to pay $5 but get like hundreds of dollars worth like quality work, and it's like you get what you fucking pay for. But no, I have a lot of opinions on it. I won't get into it because
it's a super valid argument, because I mean, how can you make a living at $5 a job? Like
you fucking can't, and you're just feeding into that like devalue of fucking like art, whatever. And I'm not like one of those pricks either who's like, I'm an artist, everything I touch is like minimum $500. Like, I'm fucking realistic. I'm like, $50 is fair, like 50 to 100 is fair. But like, when you have assholes who are just like, oh yeah, I'm a designer. Oh my God, it just drives me fucking bananas. Like, I get really upset about it. Like, you're all so stupid. But
it's funny.
My
daughter is in, what do they call it? They don't call it graphic design, and she gets really salty if you call it graphic design. Visual art and visual communications, I think, is the program.
Oh yeah, my shop in high school was called graphic communications. It wasn't design, because
she's so funny, because like she'll start like rambling on about text, and she'll be like, who wants to read that? I don't want to read that. It needs more room to breathe. And it's like, you're 16, calm down.
Sounds like me. I'm like, fucking, I'll be like a little kid. I'm like, the fucking kerning on this type. And my mom's like, it's a font. She doesn't even know the word font. But yeah, no, I feel her.
So why is there so much hate for Comic Sans?
Actually,
or is it just cool to hate on it?
It's cool to hate on it. It's like any other argument where people can't think for themselves. It's like pineapple on pizza. It's like, like most people who hate on it, they've never even tried it. They've never even given it a shot. They just hate it because the internet tells them to hate it. They're like, it's cool to hate it. So people have this like weird 7th grade cool kid mentality where it's like, oh, well, I should hate on this, so I consider it the cool table. It's like, no one gives a fuck about your opinions. It's so dumb. And like Comic Sans, the original, I read a thing where the whole point of it, or one of the like biggest pros of it, is that it helps like dyslexic people read and stuff. Yeah. And like, yeah, like I wouldn't use it on a poster for like professional reasons or anything, but like that would just be a stupid thing. Like, you wouldn't put like a bank name or something serious in Comic Sans, but like if someone's making a flyer for like a fucking daycare, yeah, it has its uses. Like, I don't hate it. I just hate it because it's a stock font. I think if anyone uses any stock fonts, they're fucking dumb. It's like, go on the internet, or better yet, learn how to draw a font. It's my favorite part. I love doing custom letter shit, but that's when it gets really expensive. But yeah, no, I don't hate Comic Sans. I'm definitely not a fan of it, but I'm not going to be one of those designers who are like, Comic Sans. Ugh. Although Papyrus can eat a dick. Anyone who uses the font Papyrus, shut the fuck up. You want to be hippie-ass namaste piece of shit. That is a bad font. It's ugly, has no place, it's overused. It's hack. It's what comics would call hack. It's a hack font.
It's the hack joke of fonts.
Yes.
So I interviewed Bob McClure last night.
Hell yeah.
And what the hell was it? Because I asked him, because he was saying how there's like this where he is like open mics is nothing but rape and abortion jokes, and AJ was complaining about it the other night. And so I said to him, I'm like, is it like the new airline food of jokes? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I think it's becoming. I mean, is that something you see?
What, dudes overusing rape and abortion jokes?
Yeah,
all the time, because they think it's edgy to talk about, and it's like. It's like, I call them pizza cutter jokes because they're all edge with no point. I'm like, you just want to say abortion because you know it's going to elicit emotional response. I think it's really lazy, unless it's like a good joke about it. But you know, more often than not, it is not. And like, I don't know. So I feel like I'm not one of those girls who's going to be all like hashtag trigger about it. Like, I've definitely written my share of like shitty fucking edgelord jokes or whatever. But yeah, no, it is definitely overused, and I think it's really annoying when people just want to be edgy for like clout or whatever. It's like, I don't know, it just doesn't impress me. It's like, all right, cool. Like, not a fan, but I don't care enough to really call anyone on it, so I just let them do their dumb thing.
So when you're writing jokes, do you try to, like you said, people are edgy to be edgy? To me, I feel like you just kind of speak in the manner that you speak regularly.
Yeah, like yeah, like my jokes, like I guess I don't know, some of them can be like edgy because like I talk about stuff like domestic violence and like beating kids and stuff like that, but that's because I experienced that for the first fucking like 2 decades of my whole entire life every day. It's like if anyone gets to talk about fucking like beating a woman, I don't know, maybe it should be me. It's like my own part of my voice. Like I'm not forming like this fake personality around it. It's like, no, this is something I actually like experienced and like went through, and now I'm making jokes as like I'm meaning to cope and kind of be like, hey, like this shit isn't as like uncommon as you may think it is. But like I don't know, it's just really annoying when you just see people trying to like use it, and it's like you don't have anything to say about like your own life or experiences. You have to like co-op someone else's like trauma for your own. It's like, God, go get fucking beat in the street or something. You dingus. Get your own trauma.
So, I mean, I think that's a pretty common thing that people use comedy as a coping mechanism.
Mm-hmm. But if they haven't experienced it, it's like, what are you coping with?
Right.
The fact that nobody wants to hear white dudes talk about rape. I'll cry about it, I guess.
Yeah. But, you know, again, I've only seen you perform the other night. But do you take like a lot from your personal life, like your past?
Oh yeah, I have a very personal set or whatever. Like a lot of my jokes are very like I have like a whole like block about like my dad and like stuff like that. Like it's just so much. It's like how could I not? It's like I don't know. Like I kind of not that I like struggle writing jokes about stupid stuff, but it's just or like everyday like banal topics. Like I can, but it's just like I don't know. I feel like I have more to say than that, and I think audiences like it when they get to like know who's actually speaking to them. So like having a unique voice to me is better than just like having jokes about everyday relatability shit. Like a good healthy mix of both I think is good.
Yeah. So when you're doing your kind of everyday stuff, do you like I feel there are a lot of comics that write, oh, this weird thing happened to me, and they work it into a joke. Do you try to put yourself in unique situations that you're not accustomed to for material?
Not on purpose.
Yeah.
Like what do you mean?
So like, say you had friends that were like, hey, we're going to a Ren Fair, and you're like, I've never been to a Ren Fair. Let's go and see if there's joke material there. Like, is that...
Oh, I don't think of it like that, but I do. I'm like, oh, I've never done like, so, like I'm always doing wacky, dumb shit. Like, not like for the bit. I mean, now I like make a joke, like do it for the bit, but like I've always been like that my whole life, which is why I have so much material from like my life that's happened. Cause it's like, I don't know, I love chaos. I'm like, ooh, that sounds dangerous. Let's go. Like, for better or for worse.
Yeah. And, oh God. So you have to explain something to me from the other day. Because you and someone else made reference to it, and it's something from my fans only. My fans only. OnlyFans. You kept referring to simp. I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so a simp, I'm pretty like I'm not 100% myself, but from what I have like gathered, simp I think is just short for like simpleton, and it's basically just like a variation of like a white knight. It's like a dude who just like sucks the dick of any fucking girl, hoping that like it'll give them brownie points. Like it's
okay.
Yeah, but it's like more than a white knight because they're not really like defending. They're not like in an argument situation. They're just
so, like the guy that buys the roses at the strip club for the stripper.
Yes, that is a simp. It's like the dude who comments on my picture who's like, you're so beautiful. But like, I don't want to say that because I know that I like don't want to come off weird and I don't want to be weird. But like, I just want to say it. It's like, can you just fucking call me hot and move on, you goddamn pussy? Tell me you want to throw it in my ass and move along. I don't need this. I don't need this fucking... You're
not saying it weird made it weird.
Yeah, like it's only weird if you make it weird, and you are making it fucking weird. It's like nobody asked you to say 90% of the paragraph you fucking typed me. Like you honestly could have just liked the picture and moved along, but instead here you are typing a novel defending yourself for something no one asked you to defend about. You goddamn simp. Shut up and give me $10 to look at pictures of my butt. Which is what they do. It's like my OnlyFans is so fucking funny to me because like there be girls who are like actually like doing it, they're doing their porn star thing, and like what, that's cool, like I'm not against that, and this is not like I'm not like other girls thing, but like it's just so fucking funny to me because I literally was just like, yeah, we'll see, and like I post pictures of my butt on Instagram and shit. Like, I just fucking don't care. So it's like, I'll post those pictures and then like memes. It's literally just like a private Instagram. And it's fun, but it's pretty nice. Got a couple cuties on there. I'll fuck with them.
Well, I mean, you've been kicked off of
Tinder
multiple
banned.
times.
Twice. For life. Twice. I can't
feel like
believe
that should be in your comedic resume.
I know. I don't even know. Like, I have jokes about Tinder and stuff and being banned, but I don't know how to, like, I haven't really come up with, like, the joke for it yet. It's just a funny situation that happened, but they be trifling me. It's hard out here getting that COVID dick.
So is that, like, a common thing where you're like, okay, I know there's something funny here. I just have to kind of...
Yeah, it's like, this is funny. Yeah. It's just, I have to, like, determine if it's, like, conversationally funny or if it's, like, stage funny. Like, is it funny because we're all just shooting the shit and it's, like, a good time? Or are people going to actually, like, want to sit there and, like, listen to me talk about this topic? And it's, like, it's definitely a topic where I'm like, all right, I got something here, but it's not forged yet. It's still raw ore.
So you think there's, and I don't want to say there's topics not for stage, but you think there's like conversation, like things that are funny in groups, but not necessarily like in a conversation. I'm just repeating what you just fucking said, trying to make it into a question. But how do you determine like what is like, oh, this is only funny to me and my friends, or like obviously inside jokes or...
Yeah, it's like you gotta like be like, well, do I personally just think this is fucking hilarious because I understand the nuance and context behind it, or can I present this idea in a way where the audience can also be in on it? Because like that's really what makes stage jokes works, I think, is that you're making the audience feel like they're in on a joke. So like if it's just a situation or it's like a you had to be there story, it's not gonna work. It's like those stories are funny in like certain situations. So it's like it's not that like they're not funny. It's just not. It's either going to be like too much exposition and people are going to be bored to listen to. I don't know. It's just like not every funny situation is meant for the stage, and that's fine. So I just kind of try to think hard about it.
Do you think a lot of first-time comics are used to being the funny guy in a conversation, or like, oh, I should do stand-up and then get up and be like,
you can totally tell some of like because they're usually the most confident ones, and then they like don't understand why they just ate dicks, and it's like. Yeah, because you're in a room with people who don't know you, don't know your history. They don't understand why the things you're saying are funny because, like, we don't know you. And, like, they don't understand that we're just listening to, like, some dude give his opinions on something we don't – like, we just don't give a fuck. You got to make us give a fuck, and that's, like, the hardest thing to make anyone do is give a fuck about something. I think, anyway. True. I don't know. I am a new comic. Yeah. So, like, I feel silly even, like, talking about it. But, yeah, from, like, my perception, I think that's kind of it. It's just like people are conversationally funny doesn't mean it translates to the stage. Like my best friend, she fucking cracks me up. She makes me laugh harder than any fucking comic ever has. Local, fucking otherwise. Like she is so fucking funny. Mm-hmm. But me and her, she's like, yeah, I can't do like what you and your friends do because like I'm not stage funny. I'm like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. like she's so funny, but like it wouldn't make sense if she just went up there and started saying the stupid shit that we say.
Right, and that's kind of bred out of like familiarity and friendship, and like I have friends that same thing. They can just even be like, oh, do you remember? And they'll name one thing, and you're dying laughing, and you're like, even if I explained it to people, they would think I was a moron because it's not
exactly. Funny. Yeah, it's like people, but they try anyway, and that's open mics are fun. Everybody.
So how does all this tie into Dungeons and Dragons?
Listen, Dungeons and Dragons.
Literally no shade because you can't see it, but just off camera, I have my D&D minis. This is my quarantine hobby that I've gotten back into. So I'm painting D&D minis just to pass the time.
I made my own mini. One of my characters is like a gnome. I'm gonna go get it. Hold on, it's right here in the kitchen. I made it myself. So, like, I took clay and stuff, and I painted it, and I made my own little mini. It's cute. It's so cute. She has, like, a warhammer and her little cape.
Very cute.
Her name is Poopsie Daisy.
That is not what I would expect from the short time I've known you. I would think it would be more demonic and evil, but it's very Chibi almost.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Deathgasm, but that meme where it's like my two personalities hanging out, and it's like the dude dressed all death metal, and then like the like ditzy looking like blonde, all the pink. I'm like, yes, like I am that together. So it's like that's how I end up with little minis like that. But
so
hell yeah.
When you play D&D, do you tend to be because I feel like there's always I don't want to say try to be funny, but there's the person kind of embraces the silly part of it.
Yeah, I feel like that's everyone I play with, because so far all my D&D groups, I didn't get into it until after comedy, so all my D&D groups are all comics, so like we're all just like farting around.
Super new to D&D.
Yeah, I'm super new to D&D.
So
that's why I was like, I gotta go. I want to go play it.
Yeah, you were so funny. You're like, peace out, I'm leaving.
Yeah, I was like, GGG. We were playing Zweihander though. We were not playing D&D.
Okay, so it's a different.
Yeah, it's a nerd dice game.
Yeah, when you roll ones, it's good, and I'm like, that's blasphemy. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's like right now we're all using Roll20 because obviously we can't fucking hang out, but it's pretty much like, aside from like a couple rolls here and there when like in combat, it's mostly checks and stuff. And the way that they do it, from what I understand, it's like one like 100-sided dice, and then a 1 is actually the best roll you can get, and 100 is bad. I don't know why, I'm not the DM, but like, yeah, that's just how it is. And it's very like story based. It's kind of like those video games where you don't really do anything except like choose what you're gonna do. And I like those, so I really like that game. And like, just seeing my friends is nice. I don't see those guys a whole lot, so I was like, I talk to AJ all the time. I was like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much fun, and I remember playing as a kid. It was like Doritos and Mountain Dew, and now as an adult, like all the adults get together and it's like a charcuterie tray, and oh hey, we're having tacos tonight, and it's
nice.
It's the same, but I feel like the food's gotten better.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I had my fair share. I used to play RuneScape.
Yeah.
Used to, as if I don't have a membership right now. But like, I play RuneScape all the fucking time, and good times.
So you definitely kind of have the nerd vibe there. Do you try? Because I feel like some people really embrace that on stage. But is that?
Oh yeah, being like a dweeb. I don't make a personality out of it, but like. Yeah. I don't hide it either, because like, I don't care. I like RuneScape. I like Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's weird when people get weird about it. I'm like, who cares? So I like to kill dragons. Leave me alone.
But do you ever kind of like? My point is kind of like, do you? Are there aspects of your personality where you're like, oh, that doesn't really fit my stage persona, so you just don't?
Oh, see, I don't think I have a stage persona. I think I get like louder, maybe, and like maybe like a little bit spicier than like I don't know. Even then, like I'm always a fucking weirdo. So like I don't really think I have like a different stage persona than like my off stage self. I mean, there's definitely like some differences, maybe, but like not that anything I do like intentionally.
Do you find that being female is I mean, obviously you can't compare because you're not a guy, but do you feel that it's different being a female comic opposed to, just the fact that it's a female comic as opposed to comic?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, like, I feel like on the end of being like a female comic spectrum, I guess I probably have the better end of it, because like I'm pretty bro-y for a girl. Like I'm definitely like yeah, I have a vagina and like my pronouns are she, her, but like I will talk about dicks just as much as any other of these little pubes. So like, and like, I don't know, but I feel like there's like a stigma, I guess, or like a pigeonhole of like, oh, they're a female comic, and like you just expect certain topics to be talked about and stuff. And it's annoying because like if I do want to make jokes about that, it's like, well, can't do too many, because then it's like, well, she's just another female comic, and it's like, I don't know, it's really annoying. And I feel like so far people have been pretty good. I don't think I've ever been booked just to fulfill that clam spot, but I'm not gonna act like it doesn't happen either. Like, oh, we gotta have diversity on this show, better they'll
book you, just be like, oh, she's a female.
Yeah, like I don't know if that's definitively ever happened. I hope it hasn't. But, like, I feel like I'd be, like, a good shot for it because it's like, oh, yeah, we got a female on the show, but she's just like any other comic. I hate being like, oh, she's like male comics because, like, they're just comics. But what I do, I'm a female comic. Like, we don't say male comic, but we say female comic, which is
right. That was kind of
which is like, fucking stupid. It's like, just call me a fucking comic, you goddamn cowards. Like, shut up.
And, like, I feel like a lot of times people will be like, oh, well, she, like you said, only does, like, female jokes. I mean, like, yeah, but how many male comics only do jokes that are funny to guys? You know, it's
a lot of them. Like, my girlfriend, this bitch, am I right? And, like, it's annoying because, like, I don't think
sucks being married, guys.
Like, oh, my wife, please take my wife. Like, yeah, like shit like that. Like, I think that's really hokey and tacky and annoying, but, like, that's just a personal opinion. I feel like I would have the same opinion even if I was a dude. It's just because every fucking comic has jokes like that. And it's like, but if I say that, it's like, oh, it's just because you're a girl. It's like, no, it's because I've heard that joke 900,000 different times. It's like, but good luck convincing anyone of that because whatever. So I just keep my shit to myself, except for right now.
But I think those are some of the best comics are the ones who kind of do the things that kind of appeal to everyone and
well, yeah, because it's easy. That's why they call it like hacky or pandering. It's like, oh yeah, of course, like a lot of people like those jokes because it's what they're used to hearing, but like, I don't know, it gets a little stale. It just gets a little stale every time I see like a white dude talking about how much his girlfriend's a nag or this bitch, am I right? It's like, I don't know, break up then. Like, if you're so unhappy, Jesus Christ, fucking dump her in a river then, for real. But I don't know. I have my tropes too, I'm sure. So that doesn't really matter.
What comics are you listening to?
I don't listen to any. I haven't watched stand up in years. I know. I haven't. I know Mark Normand or someone just dropped a special. I heard it's really good, and I heard that Louis' special is really good. The last special I watched was Chappelle's, and it was all right. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like my favorite of his. Like, oh, sorry, fucking crucify me. But yeah, I haven't watched stand-up in like years.
Were there stand-ups that influenced you when you were younger? Well, you said your parents watched a lot of stand-up.
Yeah, they did. Like, so like all my references, that's why I hate like conversations about, because like all my references are from like pre-2000 or like super old or like outdated. I'm like,
first of all, I really like you can go fuck yourself if you think pre-2000 is super old.
I mean, for me, it is a little bit because it's when I was like a baby.
Yeah.
I know. But no, I really like Mitch Hedberg. I liked him a lot. Jim Brewer was one of my favorites. Chris Rock, Chris Tucker, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. Like all the like super top like obvious choices are. But that's because like that's who was on when I was little. So
right. Well, Mitch Hedberg is pretty. You know, I mean, people who are in stand-up comedy know who he is, but I wouldn't say he's up there with Chris Rock.
Really? To me, he is. I just really love him.
I just mean as a household name kind of thing. I love his stuff. I think he's hysterical.
Yeah, he was just like my fucking. I loved him so much.
And he's one of those guys that had that. It didn't matter who you are. His comedy, you got it.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like he just like I don't know the way he said things. Yeah, he was perfect. He was like definitely influential. To me, I think. I don't know. I don't think any of my jokes
rocking
like
the Mitch Hedberg glasses right now.
Oh yeah, that's true. I got my blue blockers on. I love me a good blue blocker, but yeah, I don't know. Like I just love one-liners and like punchy shit. And when I first started, that was like one of the biggest things I noticed. People kept telling me they're like, "Oh, you're really punchy" or stuff, and I was like, "Aren't all jokes that way?" And then I realized a lot of people have kind of gravitated towards that like Dane Cook style almost, where they're just telling stories and like the way they're saying it is funny. Like what they're saying is basic and anyone can think of it, but they're making it funny by being like animated, like a little character about it, I guess. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. But yeah, no, I focus more on like the Mitch camp where it's like, no, like you have to say it a certain way, like his wordplay and like it's just funny.
And he's got such a unique cadence to the way that he speaks. That
yes,
yeah,
I love.
So what other things influence either your comedy or photography? Do you
my biggest
movies or music or?
Yeah, I don't watch TV. I don't have like I have like my friends' Netflix logins, but I don't watch I'm usually like creating stuff, so it's weird to think because like all of my influences again just go back to like my childhood. But like I liked cartoons a lot, like Ren and Stimpy and like
So good.
Beavis and Butthead, South Park. I've been watching since it like started when I was 6, like because my parents didn't care. So I know that explains a lot.
Well, no, I'm just shaking my head, being like, "Oh, it started when you were 6." I'm like, I don't even want to talk about it. When
yeah, so like it was just very like Mr. Bill and stuff like that. And like we would always watch like Mad TV and like the Man Show and stuff. Like people know Jimmy Kimmel is like this squeaky little talk show.
The Man Show.
Yeah, Ziggy Zogs or whatever, with the fucking
Andy
titties and the beer. Yep, Andy Milonakis was fun. Yeah, so like stuff like that, like internet humor, I guess. Like I like really grew up hard with that type of thing. Like before memes were memes. And just I don't know, I like colorful, crazy things. Like childish, but like not. Like that's why like Adult Swim and stuff is like perfect, where it's like, oh, like these are like childish in nature, but they're like grown up topics. It's like such a perfect mix that I feel resonates with my soul. Namaste.
I mean, Aqua Teen is that perfect example where, I mean, even the characters are somewhat childlike, except for Frylock. He's the only adult.
Yeah, true. It's like they somehow made a thing of French fries like adult.
But if you could choose to write for one of the existing shows, which one would you pick?
One of the I don't even know.
Even like
yeah, I'm like
I mean, write for Aqua Teen, or would that just be intimidating?
No, I wouldn't be intimidated. I would love to like work on Aqua Teen, or like I don't think they do it anymore. I think they changed it. I don't know. They did some stuff. The movie was fun. I don't think I would want to write for a show because like I appreciate what they did, but I also like am self-aware enough to know that like I can't just like do what they do. Like it's good because the people who do it did it and are doing it. Like I'm not them. So like if I were to like take place in anything, I guess it would be for like art or something. Like I'll draw a character. I don't think I would want to jump in on a pre-existing writing project, but something in that vein, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And now I'm gonna blank on the name. The new one that everyone's watching and loves and can't stop talking about.
Is it a cartoon?
It's a cartoon.
Is it Big Mouth?
No, Rick and Morty.
Oh, Rick and Morty. Yeah, I've never watched it.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
from what I did see of it. Yeah. I'm probably going to get crucified as a woman who dare speaks against Rick and Morty, but, you know, I just wasn't impressed by it. Sorry, it just didn't care that much.
Futurama. Like, Futurama was lost on me.
I loved Futurama. Maybe it's because I liked Futurama. I was like, oh, I already got my, like, little sci-fi kick out. Like, I loved Futurama, but... Yeah, Rick and Morty, like, I don't know, like, I can see why people like it. I can see why it's funny. It just doesn't tickle my pickle Rick how they want it to. So that's fine. And that's fine.
So what's how has this shit hitting the fan, COVID nonsense, like affected you as an artist? I mean, you can still take photos, but obviously you can't perform stand up. Like, are you
not as we know it?
Like,
no, I mean, I've been writing every day. I do the virtual writers group run by the guys down in Connecticut, Ham and Brian.
So what's the virtual writers group?
Ooh, the virtual writers group is literally, it's just that. Like they, so we start off every day with like, they do writing drills. So you get like 3 minutes and we pick a topic and you're not supposed to like try to be funny or write jokes, just get used to writing. Yeah. And then they pull riffs out of the riff bowl. And when we first started, it was just like shoes or like taco, like something like very broad and open. But now they're getting a lot more specific because we know each other better and like we can really help. Like we know our voices more. And so now it's stuff like, oh, like your worst customer at work or like a time you like were embarrassed, like just like stuff like that. And there's like so much stuff. Like I'm almost full Like, my whole notebook is almost done, and it was, like, not even a quarter done before this ended. So, honestly, COVID has done the opposite, where it's kind of stopped some people from creating. Like, I've done a shit ton of creating. Like, I've been doing nothing but, because now I have free time all day, every day. So I'm constantly either writing, or I'm painting, or I'm working on one of my shows and stuff with, like, animation, or I'm editing photos. Like, I don't know. I am personally enjoying it. I'm like, cool. Less boomers? Perfect. But no, the only thing that's really fucking me up about it is, like, I miss my friends. Like, I miss people. Yeah. But everything else, I'm coping enough. The Zoom shows help. Like, yeah, it's not like being in a room, but, like, you can still see people's faces and reactions. It's like, I'm adaptable, though. So, like, some people can't get over it. They can't get past it, and that's fine. But, like, I'm fine with it. Gives me what I need.
So the notebook you write in every day, and it's not, it's just to write. It's not necessarily to be funny. It's just kind of.
No, the first one is to just write, but the second one is meant to be funny. And, like, yesterday we were doing spicy ones as fuck, and we were just, like, ranting, and I had, like, a ton of fucking good shit. And we used to end with monologue jokes, but everybody in the group is just kind of over that. So now we just do riff bowls the whole time, and, like, there's just so many bits and stuff, and it's like, I could have done these and pulled these from my brain before, but, like, I just wasn't in, like, a structured environment. So it's, like, really great that they have, like, given me and, like, the other regulars, like, a space where it's like, all right, we're gonna, like, get some shit onto the page to work with. So
that's a really like cool idea. Like, we on our Facebook page, we have, like, a daily photo and a daily drawing challenge just for that, you know.
Yeah, it's like that.
Try to do something every day. Yeah. So that's interesting. Didn't know that things, existed.
Yeah, if you want the Zoom number, it's 940-6969-6797. So
is that for anyone?
It's Zoom. Yeah, anyone can join in. You have to ask Brian Barbecue or Ham Clancy for the password, or me, I guess. Like, I'll give it to you. Just make sure you're not a fucking weirdo. But but no, they're super cool. They're super supportive, and, like, I don't know. It's just like, it's like something I look forward to. Like, I feel fucked up if I don't get to go to group every day. Like, I sound like a fucking alcoholic. Like, I gotta go.
It sounds a little therapy-ish, but
it is therapy-ish. Like, I don't know. I love it. It's a lot of fun, and I've made, like, a bunch of, like, new friends. Because, like, not that Connecticut's far from me, and, like, I was meaning to, like, go down. I know
where you live. Everything is far for you.
No, it's not. I mean, everything's within an hour, but I used to drive for work. Like, I don't know. People who think, like, a 20-minute drive is long annoy the shit out of me.
We call them Rhode Islanders.
Oh, yeah, fuck Rhode Island. No, a lot of my friends are in Rhode Island. But, no, nothing really feels far for me. Like, I traveled 8 hours to go to Pittsburgh. Like, I went to my friend's wedding, but I also hit Mike's over there. So I was like,
so you went. So do you? Because I kind of do that same thing. Is like, if I'm going somewhere, I start to be, because before all this nonsense, we only recorded in person. So, like, I'd be going out to Vegas for work, and I'd start sending off emails being like, hey, do you think you'd be free to do an interview? Or, wherever we go, I always try to, like, work on an interview or something.
Yeah, you gotta make the most of your time. I'm like, fuck it. Like, if I have a chance to, like, meet people and, like, form little connections from far away, like, I like that. I personally like that. But
yeah, I think it's also the true sign that you really enjoy what you're doing, because even when you're, quote unquote, on vacation, you're like, yeah, but I still want to do what I like to do. I don't want to not do it.
Yeah, like, this isn't like is a job technically, because, like, art and comedy is pretty much how I made money, because, like, I was laid off in November. Like, I've been unemployed for, like, ever, but, like, I made enough between posters and, like, the little fucking gigs or whatever, and, like, putting on my own shows and stuff where, like, I can sustain myself, which I think is cool. But that's also probably the hardest part of fucking COVID. It's like, oof, the money's getting a little hit, but
a little tight. Yeah.
A little tight. No, I mean, I don't know. I'm fine. Like, definitely don't stop hiring me at everyone. Like, please buy a painting, but like, should you be like concerned? Not yet.
Yeah.
So I think it'll get better.
You said you run your own shows?
Yeah, yeah, it's weird. I know. People are like, they like don't believe that I'm less than a year into comedy because of like I had my own show called Dumpster Fire, which I would put on, and that was a lot of fun. And I actually put on one of them in Manhattan at the Pitt Theater. So like, I mean, it wasn't like spectacular. I'm not going to act like I sold out the fucking like Wilbur or like Gotham or something, but like, I don't know, I put on a show in New York, and that's pretty fucking cool. And like, me and my friends all got like an Airbnb, and like I did that. And then like there's a couple places near me where I live, and there's not a lot of comedy in this area, so I like convinced them to let me put on shows. I had like 3 fucking good ones in March, and then they all got canceled because they were like shortly after COVID, like really. So that fucking sucks. But like, yeah, before that I would like do little shows and like host like my own mic and stuff like that, like when I could. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. It like sucks that I can't do that anymore, but I've
someday we'll be back to that. I mean, I know exactly what that's like. This was going to be like a huge year for us, and we had people booking us out in December.
Yeah, I had like such a good trajectory.
December. Yeah, and suddenly, like every month, I would just get on Facebook and be like, cancel that event, cancel that event, cancel that event. And it's just a huge letdown.
I was like booked out to like April. I think I was supposed to have a few May ones, but like this was my like March. Like I had 2 solid weeks where I was like
paper calendar.
I do. You're a big writer.
You're my people.
I fucking bought. I can't stand phone notes. Like I physically need to write shit down. Yeah. And my calendar, like my March was so fucking full. And then like right before that 6 streak, it was just like, nope. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah. And we had people, to no fault of anybody's. I mean, we were running art fairs all summer, and you know, they're like, no, those are canceled. And it's I think that's been kind of one of the biggest hurdles for me in this COVID. It's just seeing what we were going to be doing, and now it's just sitting here painting Dungeons & Dragons minis being like, you sons of bitches.
I know, it hurts. It definitely sucks. It sucks a lot of butt, but like, I don't know, I just keep thinking, I'm like, comedy will be back eventually, like live shows. It'll probably be very different, but like, I don't know. I like the challenge of something unknown or different. I'm like, all right, cool. Like like I said, I'm adaptable. Like I'll work with whatever. It just sucks because like there really isn't much to do right now except work on personal projects and like sit here with a thumb up my ass. That's why I like it when AJ's like, hey, let's put on a show, or like, dude, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was super fun.
We had a decent crowd for the first time being like, I don't know how this is going to work, but I definitely got some messages from people afterwards being like, hey, they were really good. So.
Yay.
And they did.
Did anyone shit on us? Or like shit on me rather?
No one shit on anyone. I was just trying to, they did refer to you as that chick, but I mean.
Oh, that chick? What does that mean?
I think it was just they didn't remember what your name was.
God damn it, that chick. Yeah. So, you know what? That's the benefit of being a woman in comedy. No one will ever book more than one. So you know who they're talking about. And they're like, oh, yeah, the clam on that show. She was great. I'm like, cool. Well, I know it's me.
Yeah, hopefully we'll do another one soon. And where can people go online to check out your art and the 900,000 things you're doing?
I am a big Instagram person. So my Instagram at notadamncheese, all one word, everything spelled correctly, is where you can find my shows, you can find my art, you can find my photography. If you're not an Instagram person, I do have a Facebook page, facebook.com/notadamncheese, or just like add me on my personal one, Brieana Woodward, because like I don't fucking care. I post everything. It's all public. So yeah, that's pretty much where I used to have a website. That shit's expensive, but maybe one day I'll bring it back. But until then, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter if you're into that. Not a damn cheese. Everything. Not a damn cheese.
And so I think that pretty much wraps it up. I'm going to let you get back to editing your pictures, and thanks for chit-chatting.
Thanks for having me.
Nice to see people, you know.
I know. It's like, a conversation where I can see a human face. That's so nice.
And when this gets over, we'll have to get together with AJ and maybe do like a non-essential comedy show in person.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be fun.
Bring some of the area.
AJ's a good guy, so for sure.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's. I don't want to toot his horn too much, but you know,
jeez, come on.
I'm a nice person. He's fine.
You didn't say a single nice thing about you. I'm just gonna.
You didn't say a single nice thing. What a fucking listen.
I just figure I'm gonna start like some drama.
I'm gonna hit him up and be like, yo, I got wind of that beat, son. What you got? What's up?
So, all right, fun. Man. Thanks for chatting with us, and yeah, we'll be in touch soon.
Hell yeah, dog.
All right, see you.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. You can find us on all social medias at Inebri-art, except for Instagram, we're at Inebri-art6. You can email us with your questions, complaints, and whatnot at Inebri-art@yahoo.com. And if you're looking for more podcasts, you can check out the other podcasts on our network, Retro Redoctopus, America's Hometown Horror, and, of course, Bar Talk, Old Colony, and Inebri-art Podcast, the original. So check those out and subscribe and comment so we can reach more people, and thanks for listening.